What's up, y'all? It's your boy Majesty back with a video. Today we gonna be talking about my walk with Christ, the real journey. Well, my real journey. And so as I said in my last video, I've been walking with the Lord since about 6 years old. And it's been a heck of a journey. So basically, growing up, I played the drums in church. I was in band. I played baseball and basketball. So I had a lot going on as a child. And, you know, being that I'm a Christian, I'm a follower of Jesus, it was pretty hard to, it was hard to focus on my relationship with God while, growing up and being around different kids at school, kids around my neighborhood. And so I went to church every Sunday with my grandparents, and I went to Sunday school. I was involved at church. Went to church on Tuesdays. We had Bible study. Friday we had service. Sunday we had service sometimes in the afternoon. So yeah, I was brought up in the church, and it pretty much depicted the person I am today. So if it wasn't for my grandparents taking me to church with them, I probably wouldn't be here today talking about, my walk with the Lord and my journey. So, yeah, so basically growing up in school, it wasn't all peaches and cream. I did well in school, in elementary school. Always made the honor roll. Up until about 6th, 7th grade, when I started being exposed to basically negative things, like smoking weed, drinking, partying. Not everyone has started partying at a young age, but I definitely did. Being brought up in not the most richest neighborhood, I was around a lot of drugs and alcohol, and that basically comes from me not surrounding myself with the right people. I was my own person, but I still wanted to be viewed as cool, quote unquote. So I started hanging around with the wrong people, and that pretty much impacted my life later on in a negative way. But since then, going through high school was pretty much the same thing. Drinking, partying, smoking, driving drunk, like just stupid stuff. Like I'm ashamed to even admit that, because I ended up totaling my car that was given to me as a graduation gift in my senior year. Started messing with this girl that she wasn't at a good place in her life, and even she was doing drugs and everything, involved with the wrong people. So for a majority of my life, I spent partying. Now, in my life at 26, I could say that I don't party anymore. I do still smoke, but just not as much, because I'm pretty much focused on my goals, and I want to be successful. So I'm realizing each and every day that, smoking weed, like your problems are still there. You know what I'm saying? You're still gonna have to go to work. You're still gonna have to pay bills. You know what I mean? You're still gonna have to take care of business. So smoking weed, really, I would definitely not encourage anybody to, spend a lot of their time smoking weed. I guess weed's really not the worst thing for you. I mean, you could be doing other things like, you know, heroin, crack, like things that are way worse for your body and your mental health and just overall well-being. So if you do drugs, think about going to rehab, um, and just bettering yourself all around, because that stuff just isn't good for the body. It's not good for your future, because if you're spending money on drugs, then you're not going to be able to buy a car down the road. You're not going to be able to buy a house. You're probably going to be living with your parents, maybe your aunt, your uncle, grandparents for the rest of your life. So I don't suggest anyone to, get involved into that lifestyle. But even I must say though, even whenever I was doing drugs and drinking alcohol a lot, I still would think about God and everything. Like, I know God pretty much says, come as you are, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter what condition you're in, he's still going to love you. And as long as you give your heart to him, and repent, he'll always be there to forgive you. So that's what I love about God. I mean, I can make mistakes, and no matter what I decide to do, or, as long as I have a pure heart, he'll forgive me. So that's what I love about Jesus. And if you don't follow Christ, I do understand, because I think about, like, yes, I believe in Jesus, but I still have a slight unbelief. I believe everyone has a slight unbelief for whatever reason. It may be people in your household that, they live not the best life, or it might be a friend that doesn't live the best life, but they still have good things that happen to them, and you begin to ponder on it. You're like, okay, they're not doing the right things and they're still getting rewarded, so maybe I can too. You know what I'm saying? Why does God allow these good things happen to such bad people? But that's why it's not good to compare yourself to others, especially when it comes to spiritual growth, because you're not going to grow if you're sitting there thinking about others and what they got going on, their lifestyle. So just my advice to you is to just think about yourself. Always put God first, put yourself second, and everything will work out. But as I was saying, going through high school, I was surrounded by the wrong people. Well, I surrounded myself by the wrong people, and it definitely negatively impacted my life after that. At that point in my life where I was 18, when I was 18 years old, I had a decision that I was going to the Air Force. And as I said, I was messing with a girl I wasn't supposed to be messing with. And I ended up moving out of my grandparents' house with no savings, just to live with her and her sister. It wasn't the best living arrangement by any means. We pretty much shared a bedroom, and it was a one-bedroom apartment. Just wasn't the best decision I made, but God still kept me through it all. During that time, I wasn't praying. I wasn't reading my Bible. I didn't have God's best interests at heart. you know, I was just only thinking about myself. I mean, it's good to think about yourself, but you got to put God first. That was my issue. I wasn't putting God first. So now that I'm 26, from 18 to 26, I've done a lot. I was in the army. I joined the army in 2021. I was probably about 21, 22 years old, and joined the army and didn't finish my contract because I was still doing all the wrong things, focusing on the wrong things. Like, I wasn't focusing on bettering myself. I wasn't putting God first. Was going out to the club, getting drunk, driving home drunk, because I lived on base. I lived in the barracks. And let me know if you want me to talk about my army lifestyle, how I got through basic training, job training. If you want to hear anything about that, I'd be happy to share that with you guys. But yeah, so I was doing all the wrong things. Once I got to my duty station, getting drunk, I actually went on a date with a girl. It was a double date, and I completely embarrassed myself. I was supposed to pay for a meal. I ended up not paying for a meal. I was drunk. Like, I just completely embarrassed myself, and I look back on that like, wow, that was a pretty girl, and I completely just ruined it just to get drunk. And like, it was honestly stupid, but she was beautiful and she was definitely someone I was interested in. I was attracted to her and everything, but I completely sold the bag. So I don't advise anyone to go and drink, because you're just gonna mess your life up and you're not gonna gain anything from that type of lifestyle. But yeah, that was from 2021 to 2022, because I ended up getting into a little incident at the gate going on to base. I'm not going to really go into detail because it doesn't matter, but basically I was doing the wrong things, hanging around the wrong people still at the age of 21, 22, and it got me nowhere. So I learned my lesson. I ended up getting a general discharge, and was back to square one, was looking for a job following that, and I eventually found a job at a warehouse. I worked there for a couple months and decided it wasn't for me, because basically I had to wake up 6 a.m. every morning and go bust my ass at a warehouse. Like, that's not the life I really wanted to live. So I ended up quitting that job. But even then though, like, being at square one, I was at that age, at 23, 22, I was still focused on the wrong things. I was only focused on women, wasn't focusing on my career, wasn't focusing on my future. But I learned my lesson, you know what I'm saying? Now at the age of 26, I can honestly say I'm closer to God than I've ever been. I'm still working on myself. I've been reading, well, I've been trying to read my Bible a lot more, which I definitely have. And when I read the Bible, I'll read scriptures over and over again to try to get a better understanding of them, because when you read the King James Version, you know, it was written in a time period, a different time period. So, you know, they use words like thy, and it gets kind of hard to understand, especially being younger. So I read different versions. I have the New English Standard Version, I believe it's called, or the New Standard Version, or something like that. But Yeah, so I read my Bible a little more now. Um, as I said, I'm closest to God as I've ever been. I go to church when I can, but it's kind of hard with work. And yeah, so I read. I'm reading a book right now called I think it's called Flip Your Life. I'm pretty sure, and it talks about flipping houses and buying foreclosed homes. Going into homes that need renovated, and he talks about his background and how he got into flipping houses and everything. And it's a good book. When I get finished with it, I'll probably do a review, a video, reviewing the book and what I've learned and how I could apply it to my life. But yeah, so I read books. I listen to gospel music with my father every morning, and start my day out right. You know what I'm saying? Giving honor to the Father that um, provides for me, takes care of me each and every day. Um, I'm gonna be going to school this fall. I'm a business transfer major right now, and basically, I'm thinking about changing it to accounting. But I spoke to a counselor, and she said that there are only a few. Like, say I get a associates in business, I'll be able to just take a few more classes to get also an associates in accounting. So I have two associate's degrees, and both degrees have classes that are transferable to a 4 year. But I'm hoping, what I'm saying, I could just get these two associate's degrees, associate in business and associates in accounting. And hopefully that gives me the skills I need to get ready to enter the workforce. And then I'll later go on for my bachelor's degree in accounting, hopefully. So that's the plan. That's the goal. Um, like I said, like, I'm still trying to better myself. I'm still trying to get closer to God. So I'm not trying to get too caught up in worldly things. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to focus on my health. Um, I go to the gym every now and then, but it's kind of hard with work. So obviously I got to pay my bills. So, you know what I'm saying? I go to the gym when I can, when I feel up to it. I work long hours. I work like 8 to 12 hours every day. Um, I work for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I work in security, and it's not a bad job. Um, I make decent money. I could make a little more, which is why I'm going to school. I make enough money to pay my bills, but I really don't have anything extra to, get. Like, I have enough money to get what I need as far as, shampoo, lotion, what I'm saying, soap, amenities, stuff like that, hygiene items. But I really don't have enough to provide myself with, a house, or I don't even make enough that I could rent an apartment. So that's why I'm going to school, so I can make a little bit more money, so I can support myself better. Uh, um, but as of now, I'm still putting God first, putting myself second, and just read my Bible. I try to read daily, doesn't always happen, but yeah. So that's a little bit about me, my walk with the Lord, um, my testimony. So if there's anything you want to know about me, or any questions you might have about the Army, just drop it below in the comments. Um, this video is 20 minutes long, so I think that's a good point to, I think that's a good time to end this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Repost, whatever you gotta do. And I'm just gonna end this video with a short prayer. So bow your heads, eyes closed. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all your many blessings. Lord, I thank you for everything you're doing in my life, everything you're doing in I thank you for everything you're doing in my life. I thank you for everything you will do. And I thank you for what you have done, Lord. Lord, I ask that you just touch everyone watching this video. I ask that you lead them, guide them, and give them the ability and strength to live according to your will, Lord. Lord, I ask that you just give these viewers the minds to understand what it is I'm saying and the ears to listen. Lord, I ask that as I'm making these videos weekly, that you continue to give me topics to talk about, and everything I learn from here on out, I promise to share it with the world. Lord, on this journey, I ask that you just not bless me with things I want, but continue to bless me with the things I need. Lord, I thank you for my life, health, and strength. Excuse me. And Lord, I ask that you continue to bless my family, my friends, and the people of this world, especially the viewers that are watching my videos. And these things I pray, Lord. Amen. So yeah, man. It's your boy Majesty. You know what I'm saying? Back with another video. And I appreciate you watching the video. Listening to what it is I had to say. That's a little bit about me, my testimony, my walk with the Lord. And you know, it's getting harder day by day, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm losing loved ones as time goes on. You know what I'm saying? My bills are getting more expensive. So that's more work I gotta put in. But I'm loving the journey. And you know what I'm saying? I'm having fun down here. So in PA. But yeah, it's your boy Majesty back with another video. Stay tuned for more. Peace.